Hey everybody, it's episode 408 of PodQuest.
Hey.
Wednesday, June 8th, 2022. I am Chris. With me is Druten.
Hello.
And Walnut.
Yeah, I'm here.
How is everybody?
I'm sore as hell.
What'd you do?
Too many concerts.
Man, what fucking concerts were you at now?
Sunday, Sarah and I went down to the Atlantic City Beer and Music Fest to see Newfound Glory. And I got hurt helping crowd surfers. Fucking of too many, and eventually I got kind of knocked sideways by one and messed up my hip apparently. And then last night I was at the Best of the Worst, Jer and Kill Lincoln at Philomoka.
Okay.
I have no idea what that second one.
Ska. It was a ska show, Richie.
Okay.
You know,
I do
horns.
like ska. I do like ska.
Name a ska band.
Let's see, Mustard Plug.
There was a person in a Mustard Plug shirt there. Name another ska band. I bet someone was wearing their shirt at the show last
Suburban Legends.
night. I don't know that I saw a Suburban Legends shirt, honestly.
Mighty Mighty Boss Tones.
Nah, Boss Tones have kind of been canceled right now.
Have they? Oh,
Well,
right. The singer
they broke
sucks
up.
or something, right?
Yeah, they broke up, and apparently Dickie Barrett is kind of a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Aquabats.
Are
They-
they ska?
yeah, they're a ska band.
I've never
I
actually
can't-
listened to them. I just know their name.
They're pretty fun.
Yeah, like they dress like superheroes.
Mm-hmm. Travis Barker
Travis
used
Barker.
to be in there.
Yeah, they've shit talked him for leaving for Blink-182 for a long time.
The Interrupters.
Uh-huh.
I want to see them.
Saw them.
They
They-
were at Green Day, right?
Yeah, they were the first band that at
Yeah.
on Hella Mega Tour.
Yeah,
They're
they
really
were
good.
They were good. I always feel
yeah.
bad for like those like opening acts at like shows like that where like there was nobody there and like but like that's their slot to go on is, 20 minutes before like anyone's actually there.
Dude, those are usually the bands I want to see though. Like, I'll never forget, it was probably the last MMRBQ I went to. It was one I went with Drew's brother, and the Pretty Reckless and Hailstorm were like the two of the opening acts. Like, the very, very opening act was a local band I didn't really care to see. But the Pretty Reckless was next, and then Hailstorm was after that. And like, I was like, alright guys, we gotta get in at this point. I want to see the Pretty Reckless. I've never gotten to see them, I really like them. And we ended up going to tailgating, of course, because... And yeah, it's an all-day concert. You're going to tailgate a bit.
Says you.
And somebody in the group ended up getting extremely intoxicated to the point of passing out on the street, and we missed Hailstorm. We missed the Pretty Reckless, and then I left the group because I said, "Fuck this! I spent too much money to miss any more of the show." And I went and saw the last half of Hailstorm.
Yeah, it's funny. And then this year, I think the Pretty Reckless were one of the headliners.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I haven't listened to MMR in forever, so I haven't really looked into the MMRBQ. It's not happening until like September, isn't it? Or
No, it happened
No,
like
it
2
happened.
weeks ago.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was delayed.
No,
I
that
know
was
last
last
year.
year.
It was delayed.
Yeah, then they moved it back to like Memorial Day time this
Mhm.
year.
Yeah, I don't listen to the radio at all. Like the radio doesn't actually even come on in my car anymore.
Mhm.
Like I just have it turned off. Like it either picks up my Bluetooth or like Google Auto, or there's just nothing.
MMR has become, in my opinion, I don't know. It's not. It's going to sound very hipsterish if I say too mainstream, but like it's not even too mainstream. It's too predictable with the music they play.
Yeah, the people that are in charge of their like rotation, like they don't really take chances and they play the same 24 songs over and over again.
Yeah, and then like the worst part, and like I think it's cool that they do this, but at this point they need to stop because their library is too big. Is their A to Z? Because their back to school A to Z takes a month.
Yeah.
And, like, that's kind of what stopped me listening to MMRs. I'm like, alright, I don't need to hear the same 3 versions of whatever song, or 3 different versions of whatever song in a row, which I don't think they do anymore. But, like, it's just, like, their music programming is just poor. And as good of a DJ, or as a host that, or interviewer that Pierre Robert is, I don't think he's a good midday host to really want to listen to a show midday.
Yeah, like I will say like it the one thing that MMR does have going for it is like I think it has good like personalities like like working there. But like their programming is just not good. Like I stopped listening to it years ago because I fucking hate Tom Petty.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll play Tom Petty 30 fucking times a day.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually, I loved Preston and Steve, and I still do, but I don't listen to them anymore because I used to wake up to the Preston and Steve show, and they would, from 5 to 6 replay, the last hour of the show from the day before.
Yeah.
And, for some reason, they decided it would be really smart from 5 to 6, which was when my alarm would go off, to play a clip of Steve screaming bloody murder at a high-pitched level, top of his lungs type of shit. And, that pissed me off. It woke me up, but it didn't wake me up in a sense that it should have woken me up. It made me mad. And I was like, I just fucking can't do this anymore. So I turned it off. I'm like, alright, I'm kind of done with Preston and Steve. I want to get back to listening to them because I like listening to them, but since I don't really drive, and I don't really find a sense in listening to the broadcast on the internet radio, since it's delayed and you don't actually get to participate in any of the giveaways, there's no point in doing it.
Listen to the podcast.
But again, you miss out on the giveaways with the podcast. The point of listening to a radio show, in my opinion, a live radio show, is the giveaways. And if I'm listening to it on internet radio, or I'm listening to it on a podcast, on a pre-recorded stream or whatever, you don't get to participate in those giveaways. And if the internet cast of it live is delayed an additional 30 seconds, so you don't actually have a chance to join in on those giveaways. So there's no sense in listening to the radio show.
I mean, that's definitely subjective, because I don't. I never listen to the radio for the giveaways. I never even tried for them 99% of the time. It wasn't worth the hassle of trying to call those numbers to just not win. I was listening either for music or, for Preston and Steve because, I enjoyed what they were doing.
Yeah, and I mean, aside from the, specific call-in contests they do, the 5 and 10 or whatever, the when they're going to a break, call in, caller number X wins whatever, they cut that out of the podcast.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that. I didn't know they actually did any editing to it. I just kind of assumed it was well, here's the show.
Yeah, no, I mean, all the ads are different, and usually there are less on the podcast.
Well, it's because podcasting ads aren't specific. The podcasting ads are going to be different than the ads that you're going to get on the live radio show. There's not going to be as many, and it's going to be region-specific based on the listener's region. So they have to cut out all the ads for the Philly area in case I'm in California listening to the Preston and Steve show, I get California-based region ads.
Oh, you know what? I never thought about that. Huh. But speaking of concerts, though, Drew, you're gonna come to Less Than Jake at the end of the month.
Yeah, Aquabats are playing that show.
Oh, that's right, they are. It's Less Than Jake, Bowling for Soup, and Aquabats.
Yeah.
Nice. That's a nice show.
And then, didn't you get tickets for Coheed also?
Yeah, dude, so I just counted yesterday. I've gone to 14 concerts since September, and I'm going to 6 more, at least by September of this year.
Nice. Yeah, I've got... So, Motion City Soundtrack is next Friday.
That's one that I'm going to.
And then Less Than Jake on the 30th. Coheed at the end of September. Or July. Jesus Christ. And then,
actually,
that's... What?
I think the next 4 I'm going to are all ones you're going to.
I think so, because then it's Coheed and then Sad Summerfest on, the weekend after Coheed. Or, the weekend of, Coheed's on, a Wednesday, and then, that show is on, a Saturday.
Mm-hmm. And then, actually, the following Tuesday or Thursday, I'm seeing Polyphia at Union Transfer. They're fucking dope.
Yeah, you talked about them, last fall when you saw them open for somebody.
For Dance Gavin Dance, who just got kicked off the Coheed tour.
Oh, did they really get kicked off of it?
Yeah.
I saw all the shit going on with them, their one of their singers, got, pointed out for, some sexual misconduct stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And, they said they were still going to, release the album and, tour.
Yeah.
And that was, the last without him. They basically cut him from the band.
Mm-hmm.
But I hadn't seen that they got cut from the Coheed tour.
Yeah, Coheed announced that yesterday? Maybe that was today, even.
I mean, that's a bummer, but like I can understand it.
Yeah. And then September, I just recently bought tickets to see Mom Jeans and Best Friends, or is it Just Friends? I forget which one it is. Because there are bands that are like similar sound that are Best Friends and Just Friends, and I always forget which one is which.
Yeah, we're going to go see 21 Pilots in September.
Nice.
And I bought, hopefully she doesn't listen, I bought Erica, so the 21 Pilots tickets were a Christmas present, and because Foo Fighters ended up getting canceled, that was supposed to be a birthday present, I just bought Panic at the Disco tickets for the end of September.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I actually got really, like, they were not cheap seats, but, like, I got good seats. Like, it's the front row of, like, the second section on the floor.
Okay.
So, like, it's like that nice, like, it's on the floor, but there's that gap, so you're not being blocked from actually seeing the stage.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what concert it was, but we saw another concert basically in those same seats, and, like, it ended up working, like, it was a really nice, like, spot to be in. So, yeah.
Foo Fighters are doing 2 tribute shows for.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
One in LA and one in London.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. And then, Rich, you're actually going to come to the Coheed show.
Yeah, I'll be there. That'll be my first concert in
2 years?
2.5 years, maybe. I don't remember when. I mean, obviously it was 2019, but
it was probably Coheed in 2019, in June of 2019.
Probably, yeah.
So 3 years.
Yeah, so it'll be my first concert in 3 years. But I mean, I have been to let's see, six or seven sporting events since 2020. So like,
yeah, I mean that's a little different.
Events.
That is a little different, though.
It was all baseball games. It was all like a week and a half apart from each other.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Like during your trip, you went to games in like every city.
Yeah.
But like, it's nice to have concerts.
Yeah,
it is. It is.
And actually, Saturday I'm going up to see Kevin Day's band play. Like,
okay, nice.
So he works for Neshaminy Creek Brewing, and they have their 10th anniversary like festival thing, free thing on Saturday.
Oh, nice.
And his band Graduation Speech is playing, so go check him out.
If they don't play the song Graduation, they're really fucking up.
I mean, they might have a song called Graduation.
I don't know that they do.
Well, they should just cover the Vitamin C song then.
Exactly
Maybe.
what I'm saying. Exactly what I'm saying.
I figured that's what you were saying, but I wanted to specify in case people don't know what we're talking about, because that song is like 25 years old.
That's fine. It's fine.
Yeah,
and you really think specifying the Vitamin C song is really going to help kids understand a song 25 years old?
Yep.
No.
Yeah,
they're going to hear that. They're going to hear that and think we're saying Vanilla Ice.
No, I said Vitamin C. She went on to be like an executive for like Nickelodeon. It's weird.
Did she really?
Yeah, I believe so.
Maybe that explains why their content's so bad anymore. Damn, said Vitamin C sucks.
Rich, how was your stream on Saturday?
Oh, we're just getting right into it? Sure. Yeah, I did my 24-hour stream subathon, John, on Saturday into Sunday, and it's never happening again.
Why?
Let me tell you, being 33 and trying to stay up for 24 straight well, correction, 26, 27 straight hours is not an easy feat. It is absolutely not an easy feat, and it really slugged around like 3 to 8:30, 9 o'clock-ish was like the worst, because only a few people were awake or like talking. Like I one of the streamers that I talk with and hang out with, they work overnights and they head off that night, so they were able to hang out and stuff. But it was a slog. I ended up playing Monster Hunter with them for a bit, and he said from time to time he would look over and watch the stream and swear that I was asleep, which I was. I was. There were times that it was similar to like when we were talking about Paddington 2. I'll even say it now. Like I started to fall asleep a little bit a few points of Paddington 2. Not at the fact that I didn't like the movie or anything. I was just tired. But it was like out for like maybe 10 seconds and then back. And that's what would happen with me while streaming. Is I'd go out for a few seconds and then I'd come back, and it was I would still be playing while I was asleep. So, like, whatever functions that I was telling my brain to do as I was falling asleep were continuing to happen as my eyes go down. And so, like, I am still attacking as my eyes go down. Then once I hit that sleep mode, everything stops except the direction of the control stick I was holding. And my character is just walking in that direction. And then I wake up. And it was probably around 9 o'clock, which is around the 24-hour awake mark, but I still had another 3 hours to stream.
See, that's why when I woke up at 9 o'clock that morning, the first thing I did was hop in and have you do a couple laps.
Yeah, I'm surprised there weren't more laps like throughout the night, with the exception of the 36 that I got.
Yeah, well, you fucking blocked them for a while.
I put I put a half-hour timer on the walking. Because I didn't. Somebody came into my stream and did 18 2 laps in a row,
which is amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. But like, it got to a point where that's all I saw on my notifications and everything. I had to do them, which was fine. I did them, but like,
did you ever do that plank that I paid for?
I don't know. You
son of a bitch.
Maybe
I spent my bits on that goddamn plank, and you didn't do it.
I've told you this 1,000 times. You did not spend any bits on the plank. You spent 0 bits. Because here's the thing. If I actually put a bit price on one of these, I would have done it because you would actually given me real fucking money. You use channel points on a plank, which there was one that I didn't do. I just don't know if it was yours or somebody else's. I think it was somebody else's. But I did do pretty much all the exercises. But like, there was a time where everyone was doing every exercise all at once. And it's like, all right, this is a little much. And that's when I was like, all right, let me put a half-hour timer on the walks, an hour timer on the steps, and I eventually just turned off the planks because fuck planks, my core couldn't do it. The last plank I had to do, I could barely hold myself up for like 2 seconds. Like, it was just pain at that point.
That's actually kind of, like, I understand, but also that's funny that, like, you had to do so many.
Yeah. I mean, the planks were pretty rapid, pretty quick, and I put a limit on that initially on the planks, because I hate planks. They're the worst. But it's a workout to actually, like, it's a good workout. It's a good core workout. But like, the walking is still on there. The stair climbs is on there. There's still a limit on them. It's not 5 stair climbs anymore. It's now 3, 2 and 3. Just because 5 ended up being too much when you would do 2 along with it, as well as 7 laps around my couch, which it doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're climbing the stairs 7 times as well as walking around the couch 7 times, by the 5th stair climb, your legs are killing you and they're burning.
Sounds like you just need to do more stair climbs so that when people pay you, when people give you bits to do stair climbs, it's not so.
People don't give me bits to do stair climbs, Scub. They don't say that. Don't say that. They don't pay me to do this stuff.
I don't know. Like, I am paying you with my hard-earned time. You put it in there and then walked away. I know that's what you did. No, I did have your stream open for a few minutes in the morning.
But it was good. It was fun. We started off with Monster Hunter. Played that for about 3.5 hours. Then jumped to Smash Bros. And I had the lobby open so people could join us. It was only me and my buddy Dave, and eventually the Jeets came on. I believe Toothpicks joined us for a bit. And then we did Among Us for a good 3 hours, and then I played D&D. And people complained about one of the players because it fucking sucks sometimes. And then played some more Monster. I was gonna do 7 Days to Die, but the person I was gonna play that with ended up not jumping on. So I did more Monster Hunter, but on the Switch instead of on the PC. And then once that was over was when it was like I was jumping from game to game pretty quickly. I think I jumped to Vampire Survivors for like a half hour, for like 1 run. And then I jumped on to 7 Days to Die, set it to where it was horde every night, and whatnot, so that like every hour there was a horde, because that's how that game works. Every day is an hour. And I got through 2 hordes, so it was like an hour and 45 minutes of playing that. And then I went to jump on to more Vampire Survivors, because 7 Days to Die, I finished the second horde of 7 Days to Die with a half hour left. And it was nighttime, and nothing happens at nighttime in 7 Days to Die. So I'm like, I'm not going to sit here on stream doing nothing for the last half hour. So I jumped over to more Vampire Survivors, whereas a few more people jumped on. I was like, do you want to do some more Among Us for your last little bit? And I was like, yeah, sure, let's jump into Among Us. So we finished off the stream with some more hide and seek Among Us, which is that's a fun game mode. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll talk about that in a bit.
Yeah, I saw your stream for like 15-20 minutes, like around 9. That's when I gave you the laps and I think this stair climb.
Yeah.
But then after I ran to the grocery store on Sunday morning, and when I got back, I had thrown your stream on and was just kind of listening to you while I was doing yard work, like mowing the lawn and stuff. So I heard you, because that was around the time where like you had asked if Erica and I wanted to play Among Us, and she was on her way out, and I was on my way to go do yard work.
Yeah. And it was a very good time. It was very fun. It was an interesting experiment. It was a massive success. Obviously, we got the 23 subs that we initially needed to get, or 21 subs that we initially needed to get to 24. Then we got we got in total 56 subs. So take 24 away from those, we got an additional 32 subs on the whole day. Total of 56, like I said, meaning, because at one point somebody asked, how many subs to shave your head, and somebody threw down 50, and I was like, you know what, sure, 50, that sounds, yeah, okay, because I really wasn't expecting to even get to 24, and by the time they were asking that, I think we were at the 24-hour mark, and I was like, alright, that's it, they're not gonna do any more. But yeah, we ended up getting 39 subs in an hour.
Yeah, so I know the one person that was gifting was your friend Tim, not the one that does bonus action, the other one.
Yeah.
Right? Did you know the other person that was gifting?
He's part of streaming communities. He's friends with my cousin.
Okay, cool.
So
I didn't know if that was like another friend or not, or if that was just like a person that like you knew through like streaming.
Kind of both. Like I consider them at this point a friend. I've known them. I've streamed with them. I've talked with them, and we are mutual friends with someone, or we know someone mutual. So I kind of consider them a friend, but it is someone I know from streaming in a sense. But yeah, I was blown away because I think they did 14 or 15, and then the Hanson clan did about 20. And then just over the course of it all, we got, at one point, Yo Potato jumped on, it was my boy Sean, and we had one left to get to 50. And at that point, I stopped promoting subs. I stopped saying, hey, come on guys, let's sub, because I didn't want to get to 50. Because I think
everybody in the chat was just like, oh yeah, no, you're almost at 50.
But, like, no, people even stopped as well. Like, I stopped promoting it, Sean jumped on, and he's talking for, like, maybe a half hour or so. And he's like, oh, right. And he either gifts a sub or resubbed himself, gets me to 50. I'm like, I looked at the camera. I think I deadpan Jim looked at the camera. I was like, you guys realize I wasn't promoting this when he jumped on? Because I didn't want to shave my head, and he was number 50. And, yeah, so I'm... Saturday at some point I'm shaving my head, and that
on stream, right?
No, it's not going to be on stream. I'm actually going to go to a barber shop because I want them to blend the beard and everything. I want it to actually look good and not just be shaved head with a line at the beard.
So I understand that. I'm not saying not to do that. What you should do is maybe ask the barber going in if you can stream it from your phone and do like like, see if they will literally just, like, do, like, the very, like, obvious, like, just clippers right down to the scalp.
I think I might, like, jump onto an Instagram live for a little bit as I'm going in and be like, talk to Instagram at least and be like, hey guys, I'm about to shave my head, blah, blah, blah. Here's why, for anybody who's jumping in who might not know. And, like, get them to do the initial 1 or 2 cuts and be like, alright, if you want to see the final product, catch my stream on Sunday.
Well, you have to stream Saturday, too, don't you?
Well, I'll be streaming Saturday morning before I get my haircut.
Okay.
Yeah, I already have my... So, that's something we didn't talk about or mention. what I had said was for every stream above 24 subs, for every sub above 24 subs, I will stream that many consecutive days in a row, starting Monday the 6th? Starting Monday the 6th. Because I took off, technically I did stream on Sunday, but I took off streaming on Sunday to sleep. I got a good 4-hour sleep. It's not a nap, it was a sleep. And then, so Monday I started my marathon, I guess, of daily streaming of at least an hour and a half. I think it's at least an hour. So it's an hour to an hour and a half minimum of whatever I can stream for the next 32 days. And so it's going to be random times. It's going to be all over the place. We might do some live recordings of the show. I might end up like if I have something that I'm doing that night, it'll be right after work for an hour, and then that's it. I got to go. Like I'll figure it out. I'll have it set up.
Let's be real. You don't have things to do. It's
sometimes I do, but like I've even thought about doing like lunchtime streams where I jump on for my lunch hour and just stream for an hour. And then, all right, guys, that's it. Thank you. I'll see you later. And then peace out. Like, it's an experiment at this point to see how things go for the next 32 days.
I do honestly kind of like Cobb's idea of asking if the barber will stream you getting the head shaved.
Oh, I'm sure they will.
And like you can stream from your phone, and Twitch has the like IRL streaming or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it would cover your stream for that day if you didn't want to like do like a stream in the morning. And also like it would just be fun content for like your stream because it was a thing you did on your 24 hours.
Yeah, I know. It's just it's more of like if I were just doing it at home, I would 100% stream it, but like I want to get it the way I'm looking at it. My hair is thinning. This is possibly my last haircut. Because if it's thinning to that much of an extent, I'm just keeping it shaved off from here on out. So, like I've said constantly, to be 100% honest, if my hair gets to the level of Eric's, it's just being shaved off.
And then you'll just grow the beard out and tie it in a bow on top of your head.
Yeah, that's like the beard will get down to like my belly button, and then I'll whip it around, and it'll be an epic comb over and all. But it's gonna be a lethargic thing for me to where I don't exactly want to have it online the entire time because I have not shaved my head in so long. I haven't had short hair in probably 5-6 years.
Yeah, I guess after
more.
I think it's been longer because basically after you stopped working at McDonald's, you just started growing your hair and beard out.
Yeah,
like I don't think you've actually had it trimmed to like a short length with either of them in like close to a decade now.
And so I left McDonald's 10 years in August. I left McDonald's in 2012. And so there was like a few years, maybe like 2 to 3 years where I was growing out the beard, but I was just buzzing the hair. But I wasn't shaving it off, I was just buzzing it. But then I started doing the undercuts and then the slick backs for the past couple years. And it's like, alright, this is kind of there's a reason I didn't do it on stream, and there's a reason I'm waiting till Saturday, because I really need to get into a headspace to do this. It really is. Hair is very important to me. My hair is important to me. Like, everyone
not anymore.
Everyone keeps turning around and telling me, when you shaving the beard, how you shaving the beard, how many for shaving the beard. And that is not happening. Ever.
But I mean, the beard will grow back.
I mean, yeah, so kind of maybe probably will the hair, but like, it's just the interim and the being without it. Like, as to quote Spider-Man, and I know it's a bad quote to quote Spider-Man, but I'm nothing without the suit. And the hair and the beard is my suit. Like, is my identity. Like,
yeah, Can you imagine, like, how funny would it be if you had like a pretty ridiculous incentive, but like something attainable, where like you only shaved half of it?
Like, trust me, there's been people have asked me, like, is there a number? Is there a thing? And I'm like, maybe 500 subs if we get a consecutive 500. If we get 500 subs at one point, which I don't even have 500 followers right now. If we were to get 500 subs, maybe I'd shave the beard. Or if I were to do a charity run and raise like $10,000, maybe that'd be worth shaving the beard. But at the moment, 150 subs is, I mean, yeah, it's $300. It's $350. It's pretty sweet
for a little hair.
But it's not. No, it's not worth it. It's not. I look, it's also probably, I was forced to be clean shaven for 8 years while I was working at McDonald's. 7 or 8 years, however long I was working there for. I was forced to be clean shaven. I hate shaving, and I hate the act of growing out my beard. Like, it's either have it long or have it short, but don't do the in the middle, because it sucks. It's uncomfortable.
That's valid. But, content, man. Content.
Look, you're already getting the content of me shaving my head and being up for 24 hours and falling asleep on the internet.
So, couple questions before we, move on. You say you'll never do it again, but, will you really never do it again?
The 24-hour thing, probably not. The subathon, I probably...
You know what? So, this is just a suggestion. If you were going to do 24 hours, get somebody else to do it with you. Either have somebody at the house with you, or, have a couple people, cycle in. Because I totally understand, being alone, even though you were interacting with chat and, you did, D&D and played games with other people, being alone for 24 hours and trying to, be up and entertaining, it's fucking impossible.
Yeah, and I was hitting that wall, there were a few points that I didn't have a single sip of alcohol because I already knew what I was doing was unhealthy, but there were times that I sounded drunk and I could tell. There were times that I was acting drunk and I could tell. It was just I couldn't do it. There was probably around the 9 o'clock time when I was playing 7 Days to Die, and you and Erica were in it. I don't know if you heard this part. There were times that and it was every 5 minutes I would doze off, or maybe every minute or two I would doze off for a couple seconds, and I would hear voices that would wake me up. But I'm not talking voices as in sounds in the game, because I've played this game so much I know what the sounds in this game are. I would literally hear somebody saying something to me. I was at the point of hallucination. To an extent. That is I probably, there would have to be a large number of subs to push me to 24 hours again.
Yeah, but I think between having maybe a smaller threshold for the increments, but also just having another person to basically to interact with, because if you have another person interacting with, it's a little bit easier to stay awake if you're doing stuff the whole time.
Mm-hmm. There's somebody whose subathon has gone on for 315 days or more. I can't remember. And every time I've looked at their stream to see what they're doing, they're not there. No one is there. All they have is a timer, and it says using the bathroom or getting a shower or something like that. Which obviously they're not gonna stream getting a shower. I'm not mad that they're
it's against terms of service. So
you are supposed to have stuff moving on your screen at all times, and I don't think a timer counts. So, there is a limit, there's an extent, but it's also, I saw someone who did a subathon, and they did, they were able to get 4 hours, 4 days and 20 hours or something. And, they were having somebody stream overnight for them on their stream. To me, that's kind of a cop-out. That's not, I get it. And if I had a 3-day stream, I would definitely have gotten somebody to come here and stream for a couple of hours while I took a nap or whatever to jump back into it. But to have someone set their streaming for you while you're not there, that's not what your subs are paying for. Your subs are paying for you to stream for that long.
Yeah, exactly. If you had me or Drew over, or your friend Tim that you play stuff with once a week, and then it was we were there with you for the majority of 24 hours, and you took an hour to go take a shower and eat something off stream.
Yeah.
That's not a big deal. It's it's an hour. It's literally you're doing it so that you can just re-energize a little bit while somebody else is there.
Mm-hmm. Even an hour nap is fine.
That's a bad idea. If you're trying to do 24 hours, taking an hour nap, bad idea.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. But it's stepping away for an hour to be an adult. For that hour to do whatever adult things you need to do, for somebody to jump on for 6 hours,
to cover your overnight or something, that seems silly, because then it's not your stream. I didn't sub to your stream to have your mom stream while you slept. I subbed to your stream
because you were doing a subathon, and if you couldn't handle streaming for that many hours, you should have put a limit on it.
Exactly.
And that's yeah.
But congratulations, because that was definitely a success, and the times that we were very busy on Saturday, so I did not have it open much, but we went after we got done a thing in the evening, we stopped to get food, and Eric and I had both opened it up and let it sit just so you'd have the viewer count going, and it seemed to be active during the day the whole time. I understand at night, everyone, the people that that watch your streams are sleeping, so there's only so much activity you're going to get.
I got a raid early on, a 14-person raid, or no, a 20-person raid early on, really early on. I got a raid, and then I didn't go under 9 viewers. Maybe it was 8. It was 8 or 9 viewers. I didn't go under 8 or 9 viewers the rest of the stream.
Oh, that's awesome.
For Saturday, I averaged 14 viewers total, or 14 viewers for the entire stream. And for Sunday, because they split it up since it's 2 different days, I think I averaged about 12 viewers.
Nice.
Yeah, so it was I don't know where these, because a lot of these people just weren't talking. So somebody raided in that had lurkers, and they just kept lurking, which awesome. They kept the numbers up, and it helped keep me going as well.
Yeah, and it could have very well been somebody that was lurking on somebody else's stream the way that you do for people.
Yeah.
And they just didn't even realize that the stream changed because it was just open in a side window.
Yeah, I mean, I'm currently watching a streamer I've never watched before because I was watching someone else and they raided out while the start of the stream started. So
yeah,
it happens all the time. But seeing that number stay steady for the full 24 hours, seeing that it didn't dip down to 0, I was just thank God. Because if I knew that if that number dipped under 2, I was gonna be angry. And I also know
disheartening.
Yeah. And I also know that I lost some viewership during D&D because of one of the players.
Yeah, how long were you playing for? Because
10 to about 3.
Okay, because I saw that start. Because I had it just sitting there, and right before I went to sleep, I noticed that I had hit the 2,000 or whatever it was to make you take your glasses off.
Yeah.
I'm oh, you're playing D&D, take off your glasses.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I ended up doing that, but yeah, I had a few people texting me what is this guy's problem? What's this guy is really making this not fun to watch. Stuff like that. We got on to a 20-minute argument with this guy because he thought he was correct and the rule wasn't. And the DM even said, "No, you're wrong. Here's the rules." And he still argued against it. And it's just people were "This dude sucks. This dude sucks." And
is that the same person you've complained about before?
Yeah.
I figured because I think that's the group that you've talked about.
Yeah, and he's the way him as a person is a nice person. Him as a player is part of the reason why I don't want to play in that group anymore.
Which that's a bummer.
Yeah.
Unrelated fun thing I found out. I don't know if you guys know this. Your Twitch Prime is shared between anyone in your household account for Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know that. So.
What do you? Wait.
So Erica and I have a family Amazon Prime account, and I threw you my Amazon Prime for that.
Yeah.
And then she went to do it too and found out that she does not have an Amazon Prime because I already used it.
Oh, weird.
Which actually explains why I couldn't find my Amazon Prime for May because she had given it to you.
Okay. Weird.
Yeah.
It was because, and it's unfortunate Twitch kind of glitched out or something. I got the noise playing from the counter that I got a sub from her, but Twitch still has yet to tell me that she subbed. And
that's weird.
That she resubbed.
She paid real money.
It counts her sub, but if I were to go through the list of people who subbed, I don't think it shows her name. It's so weird, but it glitched out or something. And that has happened in the past. She still has the stub. She's, hopefully within the next, week or so, I should have emotes that she should be able to use if she wants to and anybody else. But yeah, it was weird, but it was It was a fun experience. Will I do another subathon? Probably. Maybe next year. Maybe sooner. Will I do 24 hours? Probably not. But I'll if anything, I'll probably end up changing the parameters of how much a sub gets. Probably change that to like a half hour instead of an hour. Probably still cap it at like, say like 16 to 18 hours. And then I would like still keep with, but for every sub after we reach our cap, I'll still do my consecutive day streams and stuff like that. And like I'm learning more and more about content creation and being a content creator and being a streamer and incentivizing my viewers. And like, if I hadn't agreed to the head shave, I probably wouldn't have gotten the 50 subs. I probably would have ended about 30.
Yeah, man, people are always willing to spend money if it's going to get you to do something stupid. So as long as you never offer up something dangerous, you're solid.
Yeah. So like, if I want to, the next thing would be Fat Kratos, and I could sub goal. If we get 100 subs, I'll make a Fat Kratos costume, and I'll stream as Fat Kratos, or something like that. And like right now, I'm setting a monthly sub goal, and it's sticking like whatever I have for this month. If we reach 69 subs, I will do a cooking stream. And it'll be each month if we reach 69 subs, just because 69 is a funny number. If we reach 69 subs, I will do that cooking stream in the next month.
What? I mean, and that's fun. You just have to figure out how to do that in your kitchen.
Well, yeah. Which is why, like, it would be, like, if we were to reach it in June, I would do it sometime in July. Because I would need to figure that out. I would need to buy a new camera or get a laptop or something like that. All of the above to be able to set it up and hook it all up.
Okay.
But we can move on to other stuff. There was other stuff this week, and not just about me.
I was about to say that. Do you want to say what's on the agenda now that we're past talking about you fucking self-centered son of a bitch?
You brought it up.
I didn't expect you to go for a half a fucking hour, though. I
mean, you kept asking questions. So we're going to start off talking about the most endearing movies in the world, called Paddington and Paddington 2, with our book club. Then there was a state of play. And then me and Druten played this new game that's been out, or at least in early access for a while. Oh, by the way, Cobb, it's available on Game Pass Ultimate. Vampire Survivors.
Just because it's available doesn't mean I want to play it.
I'm just saying, now you don't even have to spend. You don't even have to spend $3 on it now.
No, I know that.
It's fucking free.
I'm pretty sure I said that when you said that we should both play it. I said it's on Game Pass. Also, I don't want to.
I don't know. I don't remember that. But what did you guys think of Paddington and Paddington 2?
They were really goddamn cute.
They were. It was, the first one was the best, Doctor Who episode I've ever seen. And the second one, it was cute. I'm sure I missed a few cuteness things here or there, but I got the gist of it and I understand everything that went on, and I started to get sad near the end during the boxcar scene and whatnot. So like, yeah. I knew everything that was happening, but
Erica was flat out crying at the end of Paddington 2.
I was at that point in the boxcar, and then when like the actual right before the credits rolled and that little bit that they had, I was near bawling my eyes out. I was like, that is amazing.
Yeah, she was almost there during the boxcar, and then that last bit at the house is when she finally just started crying.
Yeah. I can understand why these are top 1 and 2 in Rotten Tomatoes.
Or two of the top, we should say.
Two of the top.
Yeah, they were very well done. Like, they're family movies, so like,
yeah,
you can tell, like, you know, going in kind of what's going to happen from the get-go. But like, I think that like they had fun with it, and like the cast did really well for like. I would love to know what the cast was acting against. Like what was the stand-in for Paddington? Was it a dude in a green suit? Was it the voice actor in like a motion capture suit? Like I'm curious like what they did there. Also, Drew, I'm sure you didn't recognize any of this, but Rich, did you by chance notice how many Harry Potter actors were in these movies?
No. I mostly noticed Capaldi and Matt Ryan, and that's about it.
I didn't, but like Sarah mentioned it during just watching the second one just now.
Yeah, so I I wasn't even thinking about Capaldi, and I think I missed Matt Ryan.
He was the cabbie.
Like Matt Ryan, like Constantine?
No, not Matt Ryan.
Oh, Matt Lucas.
Matt Lucas, that's it.
Yeah.
He was the cabbie.
That I did
first
catch.
one.
Yeah, so Paddington's aunt and uncle were voiced by Michael Gambon and Imelda Staunton, I think is her name. So Dumbledore and Umbridge. Yeah. Mrs. Bird, the like housekeeper for the family, is Mrs. Weasley.
Okay.
In the second movie, Knuckles, the guy from the prison, is Mad Eye Moody. And there was one other person, and now I'm drawing a blank on it. But
I don't remember.
Just
Sarah said it, but I don't remember.
Yeah, a lot of Harry. I mean, look, it's pretty common knowledge. There's only like 24 British actors, and they're just all in anything British.
Yeah.
Oh, the antique bookstore owner guy was Slughorn.
Okay.
That's who the other one was.
Yes. Now that you say it, I remember Sarah saying that.
Yeah. But yeah, I didn't really expect to enjoy the movies just because like I figured they were like very like family movies, but they were very good. Like they were very well done. Yeah,
the exact same feeling going in.
And like and Drew, I know you actually said this on chat the other day, but like I like was legitimately laughing out loud at a bunch of the things in there.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is just like that. Like yes, this is a cartoon bear doing things, but it's just. They're funny things. Like
yeah.
Especially like they're at beginning of the second movie when he comes down into like the kitchen and Mrs. Bird does I thought I told you to clean behind your ears and does like the coin trick.
Yeah.
And just the look that they put on his face and his just like, well, how did that get there?
the animation they did for him. Like these movies, was it like 2016 was Paddington 2, right?
2017 was Paddington 2, 2014 was Paddington.
And when was The Lion King? That was like 2019?
Ish.
2018, 2019. Like the what they did with Paddington is worlds better than what they did with Lion King. And like it blows my mind. Like this came out a few years before Lion King. Lion King is a Disney film. It's supposed to have all this great shit. And Lion King, because they made them actual lions and didn't try to cartoonify them at all, it sucked. Whereas Paddington, they like leaned in the cartoonification of it, and like it worked so well.
Yeah,
and,
they
like,
did a very good job, like humanizing the bear, but having it still look like a bear.
Yeah, the way his fur moved and worked, and like the way he looked, his facial reactions, like you could get feeling from him without him talking because they animated him so well.
There was one spot, the barbershop scene in the second one, where I felt like it looked a little weird, but...
You want to know what I thought looked a little weird in that spot? It wasn't any of the CG. It was the actual physical effects of the dude's head being shaven. That looked horrible.
Yeah.
But like grotesque horrible, not like bad horrible.
Yeah, and I know there were a couple other things. It's like... They spent so much of their FX budget on Paddington and like his aunt and uncle when you would see them that there were a few other times where there were special effects scenes, and I'm drawing a blank on them now, but I remember while watching them, I'm like, oh yeah, that you can tell that's fake, but like it's because they spent so much of their budget making like every piece of every hair follicle on Paddington move separately that that makes sense. Like the rest of your movie has to be, like, just reeled in a little bit if you're going to go to that level of detail on, like, your main character.
Yeah. And I love how much they leaned into, like, the cartoony aspect of it with, in Paddington 1, when you see, the villain in her office. And she has all of the heads of the animals, and she goes through the door, and it's then all the back ends of the animals hanging through the wall.
Right, yeah.
I was just like, that is perfect. Like, that's what I remember seeing or thinking when I was a kid. And they actually leaned into it. And they do that quite often. Like, in Paddington 2, when she takes the coin out of his ear, gives it to him, he looks at it, and then later on, he pulls the coin out of his fucking ear again. And it's just covered in earwax and shit.
Yeah.
And And the fact that they continued with him using the toothbrushes in his ears in Paddington 2, it's just like, you lean on that bit, and it just stuck so well.
Yeah, the scene in the first one where they basically send this bear to the bathroom and just, leave him to his own devices. And, he does the regular toothbrushes in the ears, and, it's fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
And then, 20 minutes later, it's, a day later, and he walks by the bathroom, and the dad is brushing his teeth, and Paddington just goes oh, you put those ear brushes in your mouth, huh? And it's oh, no. I know that was fake, but oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounded like one of you had something you were about to say.
Well, so my one, silly nitpicky complaint is Paddington either weighing so much that he can break things or weighing nothing inconsistently.
And I feel like in the first one, he was, they leaned to him being heavier. Well, and then in the second one, it was just oh, yeah, no, he weighs less than a bucket of water and can be picked up by a seagull.
But in that bathroom scene in the first one, he's literally light enough to be pulled up by the toilet chain, but then heavy enough to pull the tank down off the wall. So it's
I forgot about that part.
Okay, so he weighs nothing, but also everything at the same time.
I mean, yeah, but also it could be more, it's not as much that he weighs light enough to be pulled up by the chain, but the physics of the chain raising him is easier because of a pulley system. You could probably argue that, because
no, I mean, it is very inaccurate about his weight, but it's funny.
It is inaccurate about his weight, but it's also if you like you said, Cobb, in Paddington 2, he lifts the bucket up. He can't pick the bucket up, but then he uses a pulley to be able to pull the bucket up. It's physics. Using a pulley to be able to lift something heavy is easier than trying to lift it yourself.
But so with that bucket, he was too light for it to work. So if you remember, he
grabs
a flower pot, and that weighs him down, and then he drops the flower pot when he gets to the ground, and it takes him back up.
Yeah.
And then the bucket breaks, and he falls. So they're leaning into the bucket weighs more than him.
Yeah.
And then other times he'll be on something and he'll break that thing. So it's used to comedic effect. So it's one of those obviously it's a kind of animated movie. So there's that suspension of disbelief. The same thing in the first movie with the bathroom, that water wouldn't have filled the bathroom the way it did.
No.
And the one thing that Erica kept pointing out that the one thing that seemed to bug her while we were watching it, but not enough that she was annoyed by it, but she just kept mentioning it, was nobody cared or was shocked that there was a talking bear.
I love that. I love that though. I am so happy that that's not a point of the movie. Happy.
It's really funny because the way the movie opens up with the explorer finding the aunt and uncle and finding out they're intelligent, but that they cannot talk at that point, is this just huge discovery, and it ends up getting hidden from the world basically.
Uh-huh.
But then Paddington, a talking bear with a hat and a raincoat, shows up, and no one bats an eye, and it's just okay, cool.
Yeah,
and it only worked because they never acknowledged it. If you had one person that went, "What the fuck is this?" it would have broken it.
Yeah, and literally the first time the dad sees them is oh, it's a homeless bear. Don't talk to it.
Yeah,
yeah. It was honestly, I said it multiple times while I was watching. They did this right. They did it right, but not having anyone acknowledge it. It would be too much of a bit, and it would be done way too much because of how many characters a bear is going to meet in a city to have people be shocked that he is a talking bear. To put it in
I said the same thing.
To put it in common terms, look at how everyone reacted to Grogu in The Mandalorian. It was over, oh my god, it's a little Jedi. Oh my god, it's a little Jedi. Oh my god, it's over and over. Obviously they're going to be shocked at it, but every episode had somebody, or every other episode, because they ended up being 2-episode arcs mostly, was somebody reacting to, oh my god, it's a baby Jedi.
Yeah, I mean, look at the Ninja Turtle movies we watched a few weeks ago. In both of those movies, when the new human was introduced to the group, they fainted. And like, yeah, in a movie like this where like there is such a big cast of human characters, if they would have done it once, they would have had to do it every time, and then it would have gotten old. And I think the closest they got to somebody like it really being like is that what I think it is, was when the police were chasing him in the second one. The cop that calls it in goes, "It appears to be a bear wearing a hat and an overcoat." As just
riding a dog. Like, I think she even said, like, riding a dog or something.
No, because he wasn't riding the dog at that point.
Okay. They also, like, the only other time they kind of acknowledged it was when the dad was calling the insurance company to increase his rates. And like, it was kind of, he was like, yeah, we have a bear staying. A bear? But, like, that's it. Like, they didn't, like, fight it or anything. They were just like, a bear? Okay, sure. Like, that's a common thing. Yeah,
it was like, is it a grizzly? Like, you didn't hear the other side of the conversation, but, like, you know, they asked, like, a grizzly bear, and because the dad responded, he's like, no, he doesn't seem grizzly.
Yeah. And it was just, like, I absolutely love the fact that they didn't touch on it. Like, I want that, because, like, when you think of cartoons in the past, cartoons we watched, no one ever asked why the weird creature was a weird creature. They just let the weird creature be.
Yeah, exactly. And, yeah, if they made a Paddington 3, I would wholeheartedly watch it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I am... I will be texting my brother and seeing if he's watched it with the girls yet, because I think this is a movie that they would all enjoy. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
Like,
so, actually, you know what's funny is I was over my dad and my brothers the other day, and I had no idea. My dad has seen them, loves the two Paddington movies. Talking with my brother and one of his friends after, and my brother's friend, his kid, couldn't fucking care for the movie. He fucking loved it, though.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of funny.
I forget how old she is, but like, I think she was like 3 when they watched it together. The little kid didn't care. He was saying he's having a fucking blast watching it. He was like, maybe I should show it to her again now that she's a little bit older, and maybe she would like it, but it was like...
Yeah, I can understand 3 not really being into it. It's not very flashy and colorful. But, like, my nieces are 7 and 5? Gonna be 5? I think? Yes, gonna be 5 in October and 7. So, like, they're old enough there to the point where they can sit through, they friggin' saw, Doctor Strange. They can sit and watch movies that aren't necessarily the flashy, cartoony movies, and I think they both would have a kick out of it. Because I think Gwen would just laugh at it, and Tabs would just be like, oh my god, there's a talking teddy bear, and she would love it.
Yeah, you know, thinking back to, like, the humor in the movie, I can't think of any, like, blatantly, like, you know how a lot of times, like, kids' movies will have, like, very blatant adult jokes in there that are just, they're just innuendo enough that, like, the kids wouldn't get it, but, like, they're there for, like, the adults to have something to snicker at?
Yeah.
I can't think of anything like that in these movies.
No,
I nothing that, like, stands out, at least.
Yeah, I don't think there was any, in a sense, like, adult fan service for this. Like, I think it was all very much kid-friendly comedy that is also something that adults will enjoy. And that's how they wrote these movies so well, to the point that these are things that, like, kids will like, but also adults will like. This is a movie that I would have no problem sitting down and watching again and again and again.
Oh, and, like, I don't think there were any, like, innuendo-y jokes that kids wouldn't get that adults would, but I know, like, one of the things I laughed the hardest at was towards the end of the first movie when the neighbor, Peter Capaldi's character, calls and is trying to put on a fake voice, and the dad's just like, oh yeah, no, hey, no, I know it's you. And he's like, oh, no, I'm whatever. It's like, yeah, sure, okay, thanks. Like, yeah, I laughed so hard at that.
Yeah, because he literally holds the phone away. He's like, yeah, hey, it's Mr. What's his name from down the street. Put it on a funny accent.
Yeah. It's like we know what they were going for with Deep Tooth and everything, or Deep Throat, right? Yeah, or is that what it is? I don't know, but we know what they were trying to reference. Kids won't, but kids will still find it funny because of the jokes that were thrown into them.
Yeah, exactly. And like I was thinking, like if you watch like a Pixar movie or like just like even like Nickelodeon cartoons or and Cartoon Network cartoons, there's like just those like they're borderline inappropriate, but they get away with them because the age watching that just won't get it, and the parents watching it with them get it and know that the kids don't get it.
Yeah.
And this was just very much just like, oh no, like this bear just gave a very stern look to like a dude in prison for like saying something mean about his aunt, and then that prisoner immediately was just like, dude, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I loved that, the hard look that he did. What are you doing? It's a hard look. It's something my aunt taught me.
Yeah.
It was so great. I love the whole prison scene in the second one with Paddington, where like he's there for a day and turns it into like the nicest place in the world. Yeah,
like he accidentally dyes all of their clothes pink.
Yeah.
Makes them marmalade sandwiches, and then like becomes friends with all of the inmates.
Yeah. He basically reformed all the inmates by just being there, and I was like, this is fantastic. This is amazing. I was blown away as to how good these movies were. And like after watching the first one, I was legitimately excited to watch the second.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, actually, like we watched, God, I forget if it was Saturday night or Sunday that we watched the first one, and then we watched the second one last night. So I think it was Sunday we watched the first one, and last night we watched the second one. And like Erica did not want to watch them with me. Like when I told her that, like when I asked her if she'd watch them, she's like, I really don't want to. And then like by the time we were done the second one, like she was in tears. And like I was joking on the way up here, I'm like, I wrote down that you cried, so I remember. She's like, why are you gonna publicly shame me like that? And I'm like, it's not shaming you. It's one of the highest rated movies of all time, and you loved it. And she's like, I did love it.
And that's like, it's not shaming, Erica. If you're listening, it's not shaming, because I almost cried, but I cried a lot of things. But I almost cried. Okay, so you're good, you're fine. But yeah, these movies were just awesome. It was just awesome.
Yeah. So with that said, Rich, the next pick is yours, and man, good luck fucking following that up.
Jeez. How do I follow that up? I actually at one point was thinking of doing, but like it's only got like a 50%, so I don't think I'm gonna. I was thinking of doing the Legends of the Hidden Temple movie, because it is on Netflix. Because I recently watched a YouTube video about Legends of the Hidden Temple, like the original series, and I was like, oh man, I forgot about the movie. But I'm not going to do Legends of the Hidden Temple. I am going to pull one off the list that I've been making that, hold on, let me just make sure this is available, and I'm going to apologize for it now. Do you guys have any problem with subscribing to Pluto TV?
I don't know what that is, but as long as it's cheap, no.
It's a free streaming, it's a free TV service. Like, it's got, like, live, I don't know if live TV, but it has, like, different TV channels and things like that, and free movies on there. I don't really know much about it, but I do know that the movie Mac and Me are on it.
Oh, God.
And I've always wanted to watch that movie. I'm sorry, but I've always wanted to watch that movie just based on the bit that
Paul Rudd does?
Paul Rudd does to Conan. And that's on Pluto TV. Look, I know it's a bad movie, but we just had two great ones. It's either it's either that one or I'm thinking The Truman Show.
You know, actually, like, it's been a very long time since I've seen it, but like, I actually do remember The Truman Show being a good movie.
I've never seen it, and I've heard good things about it, and I've always been interested. I love Jim Carrey as an actor, and it kind of makes me mad that I've never seen it.
They almost could not be more diametrically opposed than Rotten Tomatoes scores.
Yeah, I'm assuming Mac and Me is somewhere in like the 10 to 20 range, and Truman Show is in the like 80 to 90.
Try 7% for Mac and Me.
I was not that far off at 10.
Yeah, but you were going a little high, and thinking it was anywhere near a 20, and Truman Show's at 95.
Then let's do this. Let's do The Truman Show. But if you guys have time and just any point want to talk about Mac and Me, let me know and I'll watch it as well, and we can talk about it next time or at some point. Ever.
Okay.
Like,
I mean, I'm going to tell you, I do not in the next 2 weeks have enough time to also watch Mac and Me.
No, I'm not saying just in the next 2 weeks, ever. So, like, if in a month from now you're like, oh, you know what, I've got time to watch Mac and Me, because Pluto TV is a free service. It's just absolutely free. So if 2 months from now you're like, you're thinking, oh, you know what, Mac and Me, and for some reason this horrible movie comes across your head, and you're like, Mac and Me, Richie wants to watch that. Let me know, and I'll watch it, and we'll talk about it, if ever. Or maybe if we're long enough outside of bad movies, we'll watch a bad movie.
Yeah, and I know. So the reason I thought that Mac and Me might have been a little like, I kind of thought it might have been in just like the teens, was because of that Paul Rudd skit. I thought maybe it would have had like one of those weird resurgences that like bumped it up a little bit because people are fucking stupid. But it's good to see that's not the case.
No. It's legitimately like a 7% on Rotten Tomatoes.
And it has a 38% audience score.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know so this is just Rotten Tomatoes related. So while I was like reading up on some stuff about Paddington 2, like on the Wikipedia page, it points out that like it had 100% for quite a while until somebody found like a 2017 review that was a negative review that dropped it down to the 99%. Almost the exact same thing happened with Citizen Kane.
Yeah.
Except the review that they found that was a single negative review for that movie was from like 1942.
Yeah. That's what brought, like, Citizen Kane was up top over Paddington 2. Like, this is like, so like they found the Paddington 2 article, which brought it down to 99%. Citizen Kane was at like just like 99.5% or whatever. Like, it was still 99%, but it was still just a little bit over. And then they found that 1940s article, which brought it to like 98%. So,
no,
yeah,
so
like that's,
I believe they're both at 99% because both of them were at one point at 100% fresh for critic score, which is just.
I want to know that bad review. I want to know what that bad review of Paddington 2.
It was somebody that probably like didn't want to watch it to begin with, but got assigned it, and then she's like, "This is unbelievable. It's a talking bear, and nobody references."
Yeah. I hate the fact that no one acknowledges that this bear is talking and moving around like a human being. I want the bit played every time he meets somebody new that, oh my god, it's a talking bear. I want this movie to be 3 hours long because they have to add an extra 30 seconds per character that they introduce.
Yeah, like
yeah.
That's the sort of reviews that like, yes, there are negatives that you could find for both of those movies, but like, I don't know, like they were fun, so like, what's it matter? But okay, so next book club in 2 weeks on the 23rd of June will be The Truman Show, which I don't think we looked to see where that was available.
It's on HBO Max.
Just double checking if it's on anything else. Okay, so yeah, HBO, and then like you can rent it from all the different rental places. So cool. So Truman Show. Yeah, it's been a very long time since I've seen that. So next up, there was that Sony State of Play last week. The day after we recorded.
Yeah. There was a State of Play. It had some new things. Or no, it was all third-party stuff, is what it was.
No. It was mostly third party. So I'm just going to run down the things that were in it real quick because that seems easiest. So they showed, they officially revealed Resident Evil 4 Remake, which, cool. They showed that the Spider-Man remaster, not Miles Morales, is going to PC.
Miles Morales will also go to PC.
Oh, I'm sure it will, but it was not announced as part of this. They showed that there's an update for Horizon Forbidden West. And they showed off Horizon Call of the Mountain, which is going to be PSVR 2. They debuted a trailer for the Callisto Protocol, which actually looks really cool. And I did not expect that coming from the game that used to be set in the PUBG universe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then they revealed...
Wait, did they say that was... Oh, I guess I misheard somebody. I could have sourced somebody... I heard somebody say that was a successor to Dead Space.
No, I think people thought it was going to be Dead Space based on the trailer. But no, so the Callisto Protocol was originally set in the PUBG universe. It's by PUBG Corp or whatever that publisher studio, whatever is called now. But it is no longer like connected to PUBG, like in like an in-universe way. They showed off.
Apparently the I guess the director of Callisto Protocol was the creator of Dead Space.
Oh, I can't think of his name. Fuck.
Glenn Schofield?
Yeah, Schofield. Yeah, I forgot about that. That's why this game looks so much like a Dead Space, because it's the guy that made fucking Dead Space.
Yeah.
So they had that. They showed off Roller Drome, with best name fucking for a game ever. They showed off Eternights. They showed that Resident Evil Village is going to PSVR 2, as well as there's going to be a No Man's Sky 2 update for it, and there's a new Walking Dead game for PSVR 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then they showed us our first look at Street Fighter 6. They showed that Tunic is coming to PlayStation. They showed that game Season, A Letter to the Future again, which they've shown a few times. The game Stray, which is the game where you play as a cat with a bunch of robots, which actually looks like it could be kind of cool. And then they closed it out with a trailer of Final Fantasy 16, and that it will be releasing next summer.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, out of all that, is there anything that, like, really stood out to you guys?
I mean, I thought it was, overall, I thought the showing was solid.
Agreed.
I was excited to see get a potential release window for 16, but I'm kind of bummed out that it's next year. I was hoping it was going to be this year, but a lot of what they showed made me a little bit more intrigued about it. It looks pretty damn wild. It looks more like an action RPG than just a generic RPG. And it's like, it seems like it's just all the summons fighting each other. Like, there's gonna be fucking kaiju battles and shit now. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, like, at one point it looked like a fighting game, because, like, you had two summons fighting each other with fucking health bars.
Uh-huh.
Like, yeah, I'm right there with you, Rich. Like, I am very interested to see what 16 ends up being.
Yeah.
Also, I'm surprised you didn't mention Resident Evil 4 as, like, right off the bat, because...
I mean, I didn't get to that yet. I mean, I honestly, I opened up the IGN article as well to go through, and, like, 16 was their big announcement. That was the end cap. Like, that's what they finished on, and, like, that was their big thing. And, like, I've been looking forward to 16 since they announced it last year. And, like, when they announced it was going to be very, like, Soulsborne-y, I was excited for it.
Wow, that was really just last year, wasn't it?
I believe so. But like the Resident Evil 4 remake, I'm interested in, but this now turns Resident Evil 4 into the most released game ever, and I love Resident Evil 4. I absolutely love Resident Evil 4, and I don't think it needs a remake. I really don't. I think it was perfect the way it was. It still sort of had tank controls. You couldn't move while aiming down sights and anything, but like, it made aiming easier and less and more fluid. Like, I don't think they need to change this, but I'm excited to see what they do with it. But I'm hoping they do good.
Yeah, I actually don't disagree with you on that. Like, I don't think they needed to do 4, because I think 4 is still a playable game today. But having seen some people streaming it in, like, the last year or two, it does not hold up as well. And I think if they do it right, a remake of that could actually be really good, especially considering how good they did with Resident Evil 2 remake.
Yeah, but like with Resident Evil 2 and 3 remake, which were really good. I never played the original Resident Evil, but I played Resident Evil 2. And what they did with the 2 and 3 remake and how they like brought Resident Evil back to its roots but enhanced it was really good. But Resident Evil 4 was when they started to transition out of their roots but still stayed survival horror. It wasn't until 5 that it became an action game. Like, they made the enhancements that, like, they kind of did that with Resident Evil 4, what they did with 2 and 3 on their remakes. Like, the only difference between 4 and 2 and 3 is the fact that you still can't move while aiming down sights. But that was the game that brought in, like, the age of QTEs. And I feel like that was, like, that introduction to quick times, like, that was perfect. But I feel like they're gonna ruin it because, like, quick times just aren't the thing anymore. But that's, like, part of the excitement of Resident Evil 4, where the occasional, like, oh, you're just flat out dead if you fail this quick time event stuff. But I don't know. I'm excited for it, but I don't think it's needed. I really don't think it's needed.
And I agree. Like, it's definitely not needed, but, like, I am very interested to see what they do with it.
It's
Also,
like,
I'm sorry, this is quickly unrelated. I just happen to like have Twitter refresh, and I don't know if these are real for GameSpot, but apparently they have T-shirts made because they're going down to LA for Summer Games Fest. Some of their staff is that are the shirts say Key 3 for Keeley, and the G is just the GameSpot logo, and it's very good. It's a very good shirt.
I'm 99% sure they're real because I think Jan tweeted a picture with one.
Okay, so like Tamor just tweeted a picture of it, but it's like it looks like a real shirt, but I don't know if it's one of those things like I could see Tamor doing that on his own and just getting it fucking printed as a joke.
Fair,
because like that guy will lean into a joke and it's good. Sorry, Rich, but yeah, Resident Evil 4 remake.
Yeah. But, like, besides those, nothing really directly stood out towards my taste in gaming.
Whoa. You're
no,
telling me.
No. I know you're going to mention Roller Drum, and no, I'm not interested.
I think Roller Drum actually looks really cool. But no. Eternites. Action RPG dating sim? You're telling me you're not up for an action RPG dating sim where you press R2 to hold hands?
I can barely even play the Persona games. And you think I'd be interested in... Like Eternites is super anime and looks super anime.
Oh, yeah,
but, like, it also looks bad. It looks really bad.
Oh, yeah, no, it's going to be a bad game.
Like, if they left it with a cinematic trailer and no gameplay stuff, I might be a little bit more interested. But with the gameplay stuff, it looks bad. It looks clunky and not fluid at all, and nothing really looks like it's gonna work out well, and it's gonna be weird and stupid and just not interested. It's like I'm interested in the story, I'm not interested in the game.
And so to be fair, that game comes out next year, so it's entirely possible that they polish it up and tighten it up. It's going to be like a hack and slash gameplay though, which just I don't know. Like, that mixed with a dating sim just seems fucking weird, and I kind of want... Like, I hope it's one of those games that does get, like, the demo or whatever, because, like, I would like to see what sort of a fucking disaster that is, but not actually, like, have to spend $60 or $70 to see.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But, like, yeah, I haven't played Horizon 2, and I never beat the first Horizon. Callisto Protocol seems neat, but... I want to see more, because all it was a cinematic trailer, I believe. So, like, we didn't really see anything about it.
Yeah, but I'm surprised you're not interested in Roller Drum.
I don't know. It's just, I don't know what it is. Like, it's a guy on roller skates shooting things. And, like, to me, I feel like, and I'm so afraid it's going to be a multiplayer-only game, and I'm not going to be good at it, and I'm not going to be interested in playing.
True, you're all in for Roller Drum, right?
Oh, I'll totally play it. I mean, Ollie Ollie is really good. Like, mechanically, it plays really well, so yeah, I know those people can make a good, like, skating game.
I did not realize this was the... I didn't put two and two together that this was the Ollie Ollie team.
I did not know either until I was looking at the PlayStation blog post, and I was like, oh, okay, it's the Ollie Ollie people. That has me even more interested.
Yeah, like, I initially thought it looked... like goofy, like it'd be fun, but it was one of those like, man, if it doesn't control well though, like it's not going to be. But knowing that it's a group that can actually do like the skate physics well, like I'm like, okay, so this might actually be like a cool, like at the very least like a cool novelty game, like Rocket League.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, like it was a lot of stuff that has been announced already. Mm-hmm. But like I think it was a solid, like, compared to what we've been getting from Sony over the last, like, year or so, like, I feel like this was probably the best, like, state of play they've had, maybe ever.
Yeah, it wasn't as robotic as previous ones have been. And it was actually, like, it was informative and entertaining in a sense, and not just information overload.
Yeah.
And like, the things that they showed brought legitimate intrigue and interest. And not just like, all right, that's a thing. But like, I don't know. I'm watching the Rollerdrome trailer right now as well, and I'm just like, yeah, no, I just don't care. I don't.
Well, you're also the guy that never played Rocket League, so...
Yeah, I mean, I never played Rocket League. I've watched people play Rocket League, and I'm like, oh, it seems interesting. I just haven't played it now, and it's free to play. I just haven't gotten into it. Like,
because you hate fun.
No, I mean, I play a lot of fun games.
Debatable.
I play Apex Legends.
You also play, like, Monster Hunter and Vampire Survivor.
Look, if it's a game that Drew says is good, then you know it's probably a little good.
I don't know. I mean, like, Drew still plays NHL 94.
Yeah, because NHL 94 is fucking amazing.
There have been 27 other NHL games since then, man.
Yeah, and, like, 3 of them are good.
I'd rather play ice hockey than any of the recent NHL games, okay?
Well, that's because ice hockey is a classic, you fucking heathen.
Exactly. It's not NHL. I'm not saying I'd rather play ice hockey than NHL 94, but I'd rather play ice hockey than any of the recent NHL games.
No, I'd rather play ice hockey over NHL 94.
That speaks
that's
volumes
just
over
wrong.
NHL games.
Man, you get a 3-man team of the big guy. That's all you need. You just run everybody the fuck over.
Then you're playing shorthanded the whole game because there's 4 players on the side.
Oh, there are 4. That's right. It's been a long time since I've played ice hockey.
I suck at that game so bad. I'm so terrible at it. I cannot play against the computer. It's so bad.
Oh, I semi-recently, like within the last 2 months, just for whatever reason, I like loaded up the Nintendo Classics thing on the Switch and played ice hockey. I scored like 8 goals in like 4 minutes. I'm like, never mind, this game's too easy.
When I would do the just the generic retro nights on stream, that was one of my go-tos. Like, I would start or end or go some midpoint with that. And I would do so bad. Just so bad. I don't remember the controls. I don't remember how the game plays. I don't remember how to get into fights. Like, I don't know anything anymore about it.
So that's why you gotta practice.
Practice?
Become a speedrunner.
We talk about practice? Practice? Talking practice.
I don't get it.
Practice.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Practice.
Not a game. Not a game.
Practice.
This is going way over my fucking head, guys.
Look up Allen Iverson practice. While you're doing that, Drew, me and you played a game.
How much? Alright, you bought it or played it first. How much have you played it?
So I think right now, I'm probably nowhere near you, for sure. I know that. But let's see, where is where is it on Steam? I'm looking it up right now.
They're talking about Vampire Survivors.
Yeah, we got Vampire Survivors. I'm at just under 13 hours.
Alright, I'm at 17, so you're not actually that far behind me.
Yeah.
Richie's 13 hours were all in one night, though, because he stayed up all night playing.
Yeah. So on Thursday last week, I had bought this before Thursday, but on Thursday last week I decided to play it, and I did a joke stream where I was like, I'm playing V Rising or whatever, or no, the title was like, is this V Rising? But I still had Vampire Survivors as my tag, and I played Vampire Survivors, and I started at 7, ended at 11, rated out, talked with some streamers for a bit, and then started playing it again until 3:00 in the morning. 3:30 in the morning was the end of my last run before I went to bed. So, yeah, 8 of my 12 and a half hours were on one day.
The first time I played it, I wound up playing for almost 7 hours.
Yeah. It's so wild. So this game is Vampire Survivors. It's available on Steam. It was initially a like a browser.io game or something like that they've now turned into a Steam game. It's only $3. It's in early access, and they're constantly updating it. It is the best way somebody has explained it after I explained to them what it is. It's a tower defense game, but the tower moves.
I mean, I guess.
It's a very simplified explanation of it. But it is so detailed, but so minimal at the same time. There's literally 2 controls. Your control stick and A, if you're using controller at least. Which, you should use controller because you've got more fluid movement. Or you can do WASD and click, whatever you're, or WASD, not WASD, WASD and click if you're using mouse and keyboard. But you start off with whatever character you choose, and as you play, you unlock more characters and their items. Mm-hmm. But you start off with your character, you get experience within each level where just hordes of enemies are coming towards you, and you're just trying to avoid the enemies while also dealing damage to them. You then start getting different weapons. So, like, your first character, I believe, starts with a whip, right? Yep. With the whip?
I mean, essentially, it's Castlevania, the Endless Runner.
It's 100%, like, the weapons are the Castlevania sprites. It is 100% like the players, they're not the Belmonts, but they're the like all of the characters are of the same family. And
I don't know about all of them.
They all have the same last name, or at least the ones I've unlocked so far.
Okay, I have maybe unlocked way more characters than you. How many characters do you have?
Hold on. I'm actually opening up the game so I can see.
Because I think I have 16 or 20 characters now.
Let's see. Okay, 5. It's 4, 8, 12, 16, 7. I haven't unlocked Ramba yet, but I have 16. So okay, not all of them are the same.
One of them's a fucking panda.
Yeah, but like you start off the starting.
There's also a dog. There's a fucking dog.
The starting characters, the first 4 characters you unlock are Antonio Belpies, Imelda Belpies, Pasqualina Belpies, and Gennaro Belpies. It's Belmonts.
I think those are probably the only 4 that are of that family. But
they were the initial characters, I'm sure, on the IO game on there.
Yeah.
And then everything else, like you got Giovanna Grana, who is a witch that floats around on her.
On her broom. And her default weapon is cats.
Yeah.
That just randomly attack.
Yeah, it is.
Or don't.
Jesus.
Yeah.
But she has boosted move speed over like almost all the other characters.
She's got boosted move speed, a slightly boosted might.
Oh, okay, I didn't know.
She initially does plus. She has +1. Attacks. So like
no, she doesn't.
No, it's no, that's what I have unlocked then, I guess. So I guess the yellow is what I have unlocked. So never mind, she doesn't have the increased might. But yeah,
there is a character that has a bonus weapon.
I believe
attack. It's the one that starts with the daggers.
Gennaro. He was my go-to for a while. But yeah, you just literally move around the screen. Eventually you unlock a map where you can actually look at the map and see what items are hidden there, and you can go unlock more characters, finding them on the maps, or you can figure out your loadout better to where you can have additional items on you by filling up your weapon belt can only have 5 weapons, and then your item or armor belt can only have 5 armors.
Yeah, so you have 5 active weapons that are doing damage, and then 5 passives that are either like lowering the cooldowns on the times it takes for the weapons to shoot, boosting the weapon damage, giving you extra shots with weapons, things like that.
But say you're playing on the on the graveyard, the first level. There are a bunch of spinaches on the field. So if you're going to grab the spinach, don't grab the spinach until you fill up your armor belt with all 5, because then you can go get the spinach and you'll have 6 now. Or you could go grab any of the other armors, you'll have 7 or 8 or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the way the game plays out is the weapons and items synergize with each other. So if you have the fire rod, which throws fireballs, and you get
towards a random enemy.
Towards a random enemy, and you get the spinach. Once you get the fire wand to max level, that'll upgrade it to a different style. It's called Hellfire or something.
Yeah.
And it kind of attacks differently. And each weapon, like the whip, you need the Iron Heart, and the whip then turns into vampiric. It's the Black Heart is the one the whip needs, and the whip then turns vampiric. The knives need the bracers, and then the knives just constantly go. The book, the Holy Bible, needs the arcane crest.
Yeah, I forget exactly what it's called.
And that, again, the Bible is just constantly going. They're a little bit stronger. And it's like, there's a level of synergy to where the whole goal is to survive a minimum 30 minutes. Survive 30 minutes and maybe, if you can, kill death. If you get a good enough loadout, the first time I survived the full 30 minutes, I had a solid loadout. I had the time stopper and I had a bunch of other things, and I kept stopping death. But then a second death came after me, and that broke me and killed me. And it's like, some of the better, like garlic is a really good one because it hurts things around you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just trying to equalize a loadout and have a good loadout, while trying to figure out what weapons to use that you're finding and what armors to use to synergize, to level them up. It's very simple with the fact that you're just moving around, but there is a level of complexity in it that is just, I didn't know going into it. And I had people on stream telling me, use this with that and use that with that because they was synergize.
I didn't even know the dagger and bracers yet.
Mm-hmm.
I had found out the one for the cats by accident, because the first time I played as her, I didn't understand what the fuck the cats did. I was like, do they not do anything, or is it like a complete joke? And then I read and I saw in the wiki, it was like, it synergizes with the stone mask for the upgrade. And I was like, okay, well, fucking, I was trying to not look things up and just learn the things organically. Because it does, once you have actually gotten a max level item and get the thing that it synergizes with, every time you play from then on, when the bonus item pops up, it tells you the thing that it combines with. Yeah.
So, right now, I'm trying to I think I did unlock the tiramisu as an item, and I'm trying to actually unlock and use the guns with the tiramisu. To figure out how that works.
Yo, the guns are fucking real good.
They are. The guns are amazing, but I've never actually got them fully upgraded because I hadn't had the tiramisu, and it's just
I don't have that.
And the cool thing is, to unlock the different things, you just you go check your unlockables, and it tells you survive X amount of time with this person, Y amount of time with that person, and that'll help you with unlocking things. That'll unlock the different items that you need to unlock. So right now I'm dealing with having to unlock or survive 15 minutes with Cat Lady because for some reason she's the hardest for me to survive 15 minutes with.
Because her starting weapon is
it's garbage.
Have you thought about getting good?
I will make one suggestion on how to survive 15 minutes with her. Start on the 3rd level, because
the milk factory, right?
Yeah. Because right at the start of the 3rd level is EXP gem thing that will give you a level up immediately.
Are you talking I know.
No, not the blue pickup that pulls all the experience things.
Okay.
But right when you start on the milk factory, in a barrel on the right half of the screen is a green experience gem.
I did not know that. I knew that there was a blue super sucker.
Same. I didn't realize that until the one time I played as her, went and immediately grabbed that gem and watched the thing move across the screen to me. I'm like, oh, it's been fucking sitting there the whole time. So now every time I play that level to try to earn gold to unlock more stuff, I just immediately run to that and level up real fast, no matter what character I'm playing. Yeah. It's like, boom, here's one level. But to try to do 15 minutes with her, start there, because at least you can hopefully have a second weapon right away.
Yeah, I'll have to. There's in the book, in the library one, there's also a starting green experience gem.
I wonder if there's one on every level then.
Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, Vampire Survivors. I've been seeing it all over the place. G4 did a video about it recently, and it's getting big. And
I think is it still early access or is it officially out?
I believe it's still considered early access. Let's see, store page.
I know it's been popular since end of last year, beginning of this year.
Yeah, so its original release date was December 17th, 2021. But that's the Steam version. The the desktop, or not desk, the browser version, I can't remember when that was. But he keeps updating it. They keep adding more, changing more, adding characters and whatnot. It's $3. Like, $3, I've already sunk 12 hours into it. I'm happy.
Yeah.
It's a game that over the course of the next 30 days, it's a game I'm going to be playing for an hour from time to time when I have time to kill with a short stream. Like, it's definitely worth the price. It's definitely a fun, silly game. It's very, very much Castlevania-esque. And it's just, yeah, it blew me away how much I enjoyed it on my first night.
Yeah, like, it has that, okay, one more run.
Yeah, it's that addictive one more run, but it's like, a run in this is like a run in, well, no, you can't say it's like a run in Returnal, because Returnal runs could be about 3 hours long. But a run in this is at most 30 minutes. So your one more run could be 5 minutes. Your one more run could be 29 minutes and 30 seconds, and then you die, and you don't get the bonuses. And that's kind of when you're like, fuck, alright, one more, because I got it this time. I
mean, I'm pretty sure the runs can go beyond 30 minutes.
They can. If you can kill death, they can keep going. But I have not been able to kill death yet. And in order to kill death, I think you need the time stopper and maybe the pentagram and get those both maxed out, which the pentagram sucks to use. So,
yeah.
But I hear it's really good if you max it out and get, the powered up version of it. But to do that, because it destroys all experience on the stage as well, it's a pain in the ass. But yeah.
Yeah. That's one of those games where, if it ever actually hits, a console platform, I might, just look at it. But I don't want to play it on PC.
Man, you work from home, just throw it on your PC while you're working.
I'm working, though.
Are you, though?
Lately, yes. Lately, it's been very busy. I have, today's Wednesday, I have clocked 32 hours of work.
That's too much work. Work less.
Hey, I only work my 8 hours during the day, but in those 8 hours, I have clocked 32 hours worth of work.
It's too much work.
It is. I agree.
I actually, and this is a tangent, I had a meeting with my boss today, and I complained to the fact that we are not allowed to have overtime, because I'm just like, look, you guys are killing me here with not getting overtime, and the fact that I have too much work I need to do, and I'm not getting paid any, extra money to do the additional work, and inflation is really causing shit to fuck up, and I'm struggling, 100%, and we're not getting reviews till August. So, you guys need to fix your shit.
But that'll never happen.
No, we're supposed to get reviews in July, but who knows what's going to actually happen. But yeah, the Vampire Survivors is such a good game, and it's I'll be streaming in a little bit, and I haven't decided if I'm going to do that or if I'm going to do Monster Hunter. And it's just because I've been thinking about Vampire Survivors all day. I'll be sitting at work man, I should play Vampire Survivors. I want to play that right now. It's just one of those games that kind of has a hold on you sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Which, that's good. It's good that people like that game because it does look neat. But
you would love it. You would love it. You would absolutely love it.
I don't think I would. Having watched it, I don't think I would have much fun with it.
I'll be 100% honest. It's probably boring to watch because you don't know what's going on. Unless you have somebody commentating what they're doing and why they're doing that way, you're not going to understand the player's mindset as to why they're picking what they're picking, and you're just sitting there seeing somebody move around and do nothing. I can understand it being boring to watch. But
yeah, I said, it's not so much that I think it's boring. It's just seeing the gameplay and what it is. It just doesn't seem like something that I expect would click for me. It
is a very simple concept with very complex ideas.
Yeah, that sounds right. And the shoot 'em up aspect is more interesting than the roguelike aspect. And frankly, I'm very much in the boat where the rogue in front of something really does just kind of immediately turn me off of the game.
But it's not roguelike though. It's not roguelike. It's not roguelite. It's its kind of own thing. Don't worry about the rogue. Because, yes, it's a run-based game, but it's not a run-based... you don't need to get 30 minutes. I think you really only need to get 15 minutes in each level to advance. But again, you don't really need to bother advancing after a certain... Like, once you unlock all the levels, which there's like 5 of them, you're done. And that's it. Then it's just playing the game. And that's all.
Yeah, and, like, believe me, I understand that. And I think, like the little bit of gameplay I've seen, like, I'm not saying that I wouldn't play it. Like, 100%, if it comes to, like, Xbox and, like, Xbox Game Pass on, like, console, I'll 100% give it a shot. Just, like, looking at it, it's, like, it doesn't really, like, appeal to me. Like, nothing about it is, like, oh, yeah, that looks like something that, like, I would enjoy playing.
I was the same way.
It's just got so much fun, unseen depth to it, and then also, like, pure chaos that happens at times, and you're like, it's like, oh, you're running around killing things, okay, it's nice and easy, and then, boom, here's a huge swarm, and it's like, fuck, okay, kill, run, alright, I'm just gonna plow through a bunch of these enemies and eat a bunch of damage, so I'm out of the massive swarm of them, and just, like, I don't know, it's fucking so good for for $3, like, oh, so good.
I mean, that is, like, an incredible price for it.
This is the person's first game they've ever made, according to Steam at least, or at least the first game they ever put on Steam.
I believe it.
And, like, being that it's still in early access, like, I don't think it can go on either console until it's out of early access. I think Xbox might allow early access, but I think PlayStation still doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
I might be wrong about that.
I don't remember.
Well, I mean, no. No. Maybe. Because I know, at least with Game Pass with Xbox, 7 Days to Die is still technically in alpha, in early access, and it's on Game Pass, and they are working on getting a console version ready to be able to release that on consoles. And it's always been like, it had a console version, and it was in early access.
Okay. So,
like... And it was on PC. You can actually still play that console version. It's like 4 alphas ago. Like, it's Alpha 17 instead of Alpha 20 because the company that the Fun Pimps had to do that, they kind of just like were like, fuck it. Or like they kind of stopped. Or the Fun Pimps fired them or something. I don't know what happened. But yeah, they're working on getting a console version of 7 Days to Die up and running. And that's like perpetually in early access. Biggest Kickstarter in 2012 has been ongoing since 2012, and it's insane. Like,
that is actually pretty wild.
10 years in early access, but they're still working on it. They're still making it work. So,
which, I mean, good for them.
They're releasing pictures and images for Alpha 21, which should be coming soon. They're actually finally incorporating bandits and shit like that. Maybe actually throwing in their actual quest line at this point. Or, like, it's supposed to be more than just a survival game. But they've worked so hard on getting the survival to be good that, like, now, or at least the building and stuff, that now, like, the game is just blowing up. It's awesome. I'm happy for you. I'm happy that game is popular.
And, like, I'm glad you guys like Vampire Survivor, because, like, I thought, like, the little bit that I knew of it, I thought both of you would have, like, some enjoyment out of it.
Yeah.
So it seems right.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I can't speak highly enough of it. Like I said, the first day I played it, I played until 3 in the damn morning. Like, it's just wild.
But I think that is probably going to bring us to the end of the show.
Yeah.
So coming up next week, we've got Summer Games Fest starts tomorrow. It's the stream for that is Thursday. Well, I guess today for when people might be listening to this. The stream for Summer Games Fest is Thursday, June 9th at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And then on Sunday, June 12th, we have the Xbox Bethesda showcase at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. So maybe there'll be some new game stuff to talk about next week.
Yeah.
You know, that would certainly be nice. See what the holiday season might look like.
Mm-hmm.
And then other than that, sorry, I'm trying to type stuff. Other than that, if you would like to find more of our content, you can head over to www.one-quest.com. You can also help us out by supporting us at patreon.com/OneQuest. If you can't support us there with your dollars, though, you can go to your favorite podcast platform, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Amazon, all sorts of places. Rate us, review us, subscribe to us. All of that stuff helps a whole bunch. You can also find us on social media, facebook.com/OneQuestOnline or at @1_Quest on Instagram and Twitter. Our YouTube channel is youtube.com/OneQuestVideo. And you can always send us an email to social@one-quest.com. Now, Rich, I know you're going to be streaming at least a little bit every day for the next 32 days.
Yep, I'll be streaming at least an hour or so, an hour-ish, every day for the next 32 days, both as a experiment, but also as a payback for getting all of those subs. I appreciate it. And if we get to 69 subs by the end of the month, I'll figure out a way to do cooking stream next month.
And what's your Twitch?
I was getting there. It's twitch.tv/b_walnuts.
All right, yeah. Go ahead. Go subscribe or something. It's boring, but, it'll help him.
I don't know. I'll be playing Vampire Survivor. Is that really boring?
Even though I
just said I understand it being boring to watch.
This fucking guy. I play exciting games. I'm playing Vampire Survivor. But Vampire Survivor is very boring to watch.
If you don't have somebody explaining what they're doing, I explain what I'm doing.
That sounds just excruciating.
I do.
But anyway, other than that, we will be back Jesus, man, it's been a long week. We will be back next week with something else to talk about. Thanks for listening. Bye.
See yous.
Bye.